Look, we're all busy and we all have a million excuses for why we're not getting in as much guitar practice as we would like, but very rarely is it really because we literally have no time. If we're being honest, it all comes down to willpower. Our brains burn willpower throughout the day like a gas tank, so by the end of the day, we're basically running on fumes. So when time feels limited, when we're stressed and tired and lacking motivation, how do we make sure that we still get in that much needed practice time? By following Shawn Achor's 20-second rule. Shawn Achor introduces what he calls the 20-second rule in his book, The Happiness Advantage, and he actually uses his experience of trying to build a habit of daily guitar practice as an example of this rule at work. So between long days at work and a lack of motivation, Shawn really struggled to hit a rhythm in his guitar practice, and he would regularly miss days of practice. The 20 seconds that it took for him to walk over, get his guitar out of the closet, bring it, get it out of the case, was more than enough for him to convince himself that that minor effort wasn't worth it. See, when our willpower reserves have run dry, that 20-second barrier to start a task can make all the difference. So to fix this, Shawn made a small, simple change that resulted in him practicing guitar consistently for a record 21 days in a row. He took his guitar out of the closet, out of its case, and he set it on a stand instead, and he put that stand in his living room within immediate reach, so at any time he could easily pick up the guitar and start practicing at a moment's notice with minimal effort. In his own words, what I had done here essentially was put the desired behavior on the path of least resistance. So it actually took less energy and effort to pick up and practice the guitar than to avoid it. I like to refer to this as the 20-second rule because lowering the barrier to change by just 20 seconds was all it took to help me form a new life habit. So leveraging the 20-second rule to practice more guitar works two ways. Number one, lower the barrier of time and effort that it takes to pick up the guitar. So examine your home or your office environment and make sure that you set it up in a way that makes frequent guitar practice convenient. Where do you spend the most time at home? Get a guitar stand and place it within arm's reach if possible. The less effort that it takes to start practicing, the better. And remember, once you physically pick up the guitar, you're probably gonna practice for longer than you might have anticipated. The biggest barrier is just getting that guitar in our hands. Now, on the flip side of that, number two, raise the barrier of time and effort that it takes to start those activities that distract from guitar practice. So take the batteries out of your TV remote, sit them on the opposite side of the house, so when you're tempted to binge some Netflix, instead of practicing guitar, that added inconvenience of having to walk across the house to grab batteries when your guitar is right there within reach can be just that extra little push that your willpower needs to swing over into a more productive direction. Again, evaluate your own environment here and know your weaknesses. If you're a gamer like me, get your spouse or family member to hide your controller until you've done your guitar practice for the day, which might sound silly, but we give our willpower too much credit. And we like to think that we're really self-disciplined, but more often than not, we're just lazy people. But you know what? That's okay because we're humans, and that's why we need systems like this in place to help us overcome that and to help develop those good habits. And feel free to get creative with this. I have a student who came up with this brilliant idea that I love, and I share this all the time. So they like to play video games. That's kind of their vice. And they keep their guitar in their case still, but what they do is they take their PlayStation controller and they put it in their guitar case underneath the guitar's neck. So if they want to play video games, they have to literally pick up the guitar to grab the controller. And I just like to imagine the inner dialogue that goes on here when you're trying to justify to yourself skipping out on guitar practice for video games instead, when you physically have to have your guitar in your hand to grab that controller. I think it's brilliant. I love it. So leave me a comment below letting me know how you plan on incorporating the 20-second rule to practice more by making practice more convenient and distractions less convenient. bonus points for creativity. But remember, like in Shawn Achor's example, the simple act of just putting your guitar on a stand within arm's reach is surprisingly effective. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button to let me know and to help more people see it. If you want to learn how to make your own classical or fingerstyle guitar arrangements like I do, you can go to my website, beyondtheguitar.com, or follow the link down below to take my free training, Fretboard Freedom. And make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on so you never miss future videos. And as always, much love, and I'll see you in the next one.